And we are really making some progress on building our car. Now it's time to move to the stabilizers on the rear floorboard. The parts include 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch machine bolts, round head bolts, 2-inch flat washers, nuts and lock washers, 1/4 inch flat washers, and 1 1/4 fender washers, along with super stock angle irons. First, we have to do an angle iron subassembly at the rear axle. Start by inserting a 1/4 by 2 1/2 round head bolt through the back side of the rear axle at the stabilizer bolt hole location right here. The bolt should be tight to the axle. Place a 1/4 inch lock washer on the round head bolt, then a nut onto the lock washer and tighten. Repeat those steps for the second stabilizer bolt hole. Now install a second nut onto the round head bolt, leaving an inch or so gap between the axle and the second nut. What did you say, you call that about an inch? Yeah. Place a 1/4 inch flat washer against the second 1/4 inch nut. Then repeat those steps for the second stabilizer bolt hole. After that, slide the angle iron over the 2 bolts, keeping the bottom leg flat against the super stock rear axle plate. Bravo. Place a 1/4 inch flat washer on the round head bolt, then a 1/4 inch lock washer, followed by a nut over the lock washer. But don't completely tighten because there's a couple adjustments yet to come. Now repeat those steps for the second stabilizer bolt hole. The angle iron should be parallel with the rear axle. By maintaining the gap, the holes in the bottom leg of the angle iron should be aligned with those on the rear axle plate and the floorboard. Now tighten both sets of 1/4 inch nut assemblies on each side of the angle iron. Now we're going to sub-assemble the angle iron at the floorboard. Start by placing a 1/4 inch by 2 inch flat washer on a 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch machine bolt. Insert the bolt assembly through the bottom of the floorboard at the stabilizer bushing location and press it through the floorboard, rear axle plate, and angle iron. Place a 1/4 inch flat washer onto the machine bolt. Add a lock washer and a 1/4 inch nut, but don't completely tighten because once again you're going to make further adjustments in step 11. Repeat these steps for the second stabilizer bolt hole.